So I have the pleasure of giving up one of our most prestigious awards. We started putting this together probably about 8 years ago. This is before Coach Jake was in the room, but his father, Toby Ackerman, started the Milwaukee Wrestling Club, 1983. So when we say 40 years, it was Toby who started it and put it together and kind of put that vision. He was the athletic director for ever since I know. How many years, maybe, Jake? Too many. That's all Jake knew. His dad was just the AD. That's all it was. But Toby was, he was one of those guys all about, on and off the mat. I mean, he would be the first one to say it. That's what you are. So, we decided that we would name this award after him, who founded it. And one of the things that we're always looking at, we talk about our Grizzly Award having talent and wrestling experience and talent. But this is kind of that 8th grader who started in his elementary years in the club and has continued to show these attributes, starting, and we kind of use a rule of 5th grade on up. We had 3 or 4 wrestlers that, as coaches, we bantered about. One of the things we didn't really mention is probably all the conversations of selecting these awards. I think we spent 3.5 hours in the wrestling room after a freestyle Greco practice to select these wrestlers. But after, we kind of pushed around and talked about these wrestlers that we've already talked about, well, there was one guy that stood above all of them, and his name is Gabe. Come on up, Gabe. So Gabe began as a 3rd grader, and when he first started out, he was just another little kid in the room and didn't really know how to practice. And I think it was 5th grade when the fire started to light in his belly, and he really started to love the sport. And when he started to love the sport, he started pushing himself. He started doing all those extra, and you can kind of see that all of a sudden the eyes kind of changed a little bit. As he went through in 5th grade, in 7th grade, the coaches, he was the most improved wrestler in his group. Then in 7th grade, he put it all together. He was 24-11 with 13 pins. In all his years as a Grizzly wrestler from 3rd grade, 58 wins and 32 pins. And of course, he wrestles freestyle Greco. By the way, what is your favorite style?
Freestyle.
Okay, freestyle. Kind of thought that might be it. We'll get him to love Greco a little bit more, but right now, freestyle. He still likes Greco. In fact, yesterday he went 5-1. By the way, he's a 16U kid. As I run all these tournaments, the number one question I get from all these 8th grade moms is, but my kid's 14 years old. What do you mean he's 16U and he has to wrestle high school kids? Welcome to the show. But I didn't hear that from Mrs. Erdman. She said, Gabe, go get him. So Gabe went 5-1 yesterday. In fact, he was winning that match, actually, but unfortunately, probably got pinned. I didn't see it. So, but gotta learn. So as we look through, 3 times he's qualified for the WWF state tournament. The first 2 times, he didn't win a match, did he? No. But this year, we placed 5th. He placed 5th. All that hard work and desire is paying off. He's also the leadership as a hard-working partner. If you want somebody hard-working in the room, Coach has already talked about that, you grab Gabe. You ain't gonna slack if you're working with Gabe. So, I present to you the 2024 Toby Ackerman Award. Gabe Erdman.